Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 14 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So here I am painting the rest. So far I have a hair that has fallen. So far I'm just painting red dots, red splotches. It will become apparent, possibly, to us in a few minutes. I have a hair that has fallen on my arm, and I can't see it. I feel it every time I move my arm. I feel it moving. It's a weird experience. I had very long hair for a very long time, and then when I had cancer, I went from long hair to very short hair, no hair. And then it started growing back. And now that it's growing back, it's truly kind of a weird thing. Like it was always weird when one hair would fall out of, your head and land someplace. But now it's even weirder feeling to me, because I had about, year and a half or so, I don't know, all blends together, of where I didn't have hair, or I had various growing out stages, So it's now starting to just randomly fall, and it's just a weird thing. So we had a much, much, much better day today than we did yesterday. It's always amazing to me how many people have very opinionated opinions about life, and about, they love to throw around the word, neurotypical child, and then, children with autism, or autistic individuals, depending on who you speak with. And it's these words that we get caught on, literally caught in the middle of something that upset us. And I use the word behavior because, whether you like it or not, we all got behaviors. I don't care if you're a child with autism or you are a neurotypical person. You got behaviors. We all have them for all the reasons. That is why we know what sad and glad and mad and happy and everything else in between is. So when we look at a child with autism, we should expect no less from them with learning how to deal with our behaviors. Now, we can't, again, loop everybody into a hole, because what takes Owen 500 times, literally, to learn something may take someone else 1 time or 10 times. And we cannot sit here and say he should know or shouldn't know how to handle a behavior and not give him the opportunity to learn what behaviors are and the consequences for not following behaviors, or the not working with him to learn how to deal with behaviors, or how to rectify or become, more aware of how his behaviors affect him and others. It's not an overnight success story. It is a lot of strain on a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And, that's not something that is easy to just say, okay, well, this is how we're going to lump it all together and handle it. And I blocked more people on Facebook over this post than I have, I think, in the history of blocking. Because you're not going to be mean to me or my child when we're dealing with something that you can't even begin to understand how long it can take something to work or not work, and how using certain things like you can't do this or you can do this if you change your behavior will or won't help. And it's at age 14, he is able to distinguish more things now than he could before. And so I was trying to make the statement that I'm not going to take him certain places if he's not going to behave. And he needs to learn that his behavior directly affects the things that he can and cannot do. In a short little blurb of, how we run our life, you're not going to learn all the ins and outs of every moment and how we have or haven't handled a situation. And you don't know all of the things that we have tried or not tried by one paragraph on a social media platform or one word that somebody says. So I'm basically just saying, please give people kindness and grace when you are trying to decide that they are not handling a situation with their child that you think they should be doing in some other format. And I can tell you, I was on the phone for quite some time today with different people, and our advisor was like, I love that approach. Our behavioral specialist is like, I love that approach. My child learns different than other children. Your child will learn different than other children. And that is how the world works. We all are different people. So when we lump everything in and say, yes, that is giving us these false expectations that we all need, the participation award or whatever it is. Because Owen doesn't necessarily care about a participation award, or maybe he does. Another child may or may not. We just have to treat people with kindness and grace and move through everything with that. So, have I not taken Owen to the pool because of behaviors? Yes. But pools are not made for safety checks, in the sense of, if my child is not listening and not behaving when he's at home and on dry land, I am surely not going to take a child to a big water facility and have them not listen to the rules that I am saying, because that is not only involving his safety, but it is involving the safety of others. And I am not going to put people in that position when I know my child is not behaving, screaming, and acting up. Now, generally, he acts pretty well at the pool. But if he's already having hard days, he's already screaming at every single thing, that is behavior, and that behavior needs some support. So it's interesting to me when someone says, that's very sad that you are linking fun activities to behaviors. Well, I'm not linking fun activities to meltdowns. I'm linking fun activities to the fact that you are pouring water on top of yourself or me because I, am walking through a room. That's not that is not having a meltdown over something. That is just a behavior. So in the world today, we look at social media and we say, okay, here it is. Here's these moments. This person is full of it, and they are not doing something that I think they should do when they are truly not looking at the grand picture of why. So that's my soapbox for today. I got why are we even having this conversation? Because it doesn't make any sense to really go through that and be mean about it. I mean, there's no reason to be mean to people when you're trying to help your child. So in reference to this, we have an emotional support therapist that does play therapy. We are with two different counselors. One is a psychologist. We have tons of other types of therapy like music and vision, OT, occupational therapy, physical therapy. We have a behavioral specialist. We have numerous other doctors and support for our different programs and things like that. So when I take information and when I try to figure out information, I truly promise that I go through a lot of different learning experiences. I read stuff. I apply the knowledge that I'm growing as a mom, and I have learned different calming techniques. We work on breathing. We work on exercising. We work on yoga. We work on singing and whisper techniques and just you name it. I try to give him as many cues and as many tools in his toolbox to be able to handle all the things that life is throwing at him. So he had a much better, calmer day today, was able to handle so much. We went to the horses to see his teacher and the horses, and he was so calm. He was so excited, and when he was done, and we left. On the way home, he told me that he didn't want to go anywhere tomorrow. I was going to take him to the pool. If he changes his mind tomorrow, he had a great day today. As long as he wakes up in the morning and he is happy and ready to go and can listen to instructions, we would go to the pool. You, as a human, have to learn some supportive behaviors. You just have to. And for me not to expect that Owen can handle learning about behaviors, he can. I tell him all the time that he is beyond brilliant. He is the most amazing human being I know. He's he surpasses me on how brilliant he is. But being verbal does not mean that he understands how to express all of his feelings and all of his emotions. And that is one of the many things that the people in our circle are helping us grow and learn. And, I'm the mama, but that doesn't mean that this mama gets every single thing right, nor does it mean that I can't learn and grow. And that's what is part of this that we do together. Now, it's a lot. And there are, again, like, I write every day, but I do not write every single thing or challenge that we face. It's not something I want to share every single detail about what Owen does or doesn't do. I share our journey, so I hope that I can help somebody else understand about autism or about our journey with autism. And that's the goal. That is the goal. And that is my, that's my reason for doing so many things that I do. And, I don't take lightly the things that he has gone through or is going through to just say, oh, okay, my son, who understands nothing about safety in the pool in the grand scheme of things. Like, he doesn't understand what drowning is, or he's gotten water in his he swallows water like anybody does when he gets in the pool, but he would not understand. So I need him to be completely excited, ready to go, calm, to be able to go to the pool. We have gone to the pool and had a meltdown on the way there, and we had to work through all of that before I ever got him out of the car. And we sat in the car for over an hour just working through emotions and working through that. He was able to get it together. I was able to get it together, and we were able to go in. But meltdowns are different than behavioral, I'm not going to listen. I am now 14 and I'm going to not care that you don't want me to do XYZ, or you want me to do something, I'm not. So at some point my video stopped, so I'm not sure, but I finished. So we'll see where it went off. But it was just lots of ladybugs and me on my soapbox. So I do O for Owen and then L and B. So there we go. Well, thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.